to do anything to a Lancelot. It is possible, yes, but timing is gotta have to be impeccable. And it's very difficult to time against Lancelot because of external factors. Not only do you have to time it based on when he uses skill, he's gonna be off cooldown when it comes down to Thorn Rolls. A skilled Lancelot will be able to stagger these skills so that there is a minimal amount of cooldown between the Thorn Rolls and the Phantom Execution.
Yeah, like the puncture for the side of Hades was literally free.
Yeah.
It's like that skill was literally online every time, and all of a sudden, hey, there's a Thorn Rose again, and then after that, boom, there's a Phantom Execution, puncture, Phantom Execution. It feels like he's been, those rhythm games that you play? Literally, he's just literally playing rhythm games using MLBB earlier just now on that Lancelot.
To be fair, Joy is actually a rhythm game.
Okay, yeah, true. You don't really, it doesn't follow the beat, by the way. Oh, you wouldn't be able to tell.
I don't play with the sounds on.
Anyways, gonna go into game number 3, ladies and gents. It is Flash SG respecting onto banning away the Yushin and the CC and also the Juicing. I think your first pick, the Lancelot, if you're a Team Flash here, seems like Team Evil unable to do anything about that pick. But nope, they're gonna snatch that rock away from the side of Team Flash, leaving Aether to go for the Lancelot duty, and Kimi selected for the side of Team Evil.
Now, take a look at this. So far, we have been expecting, and of course, to see that Lancelot going to the hands of Evil. So,
yep.
Okay, so at least it's not in the hands of Hades, I'll say.
The Hayabusa, unfortunately, was already removed by the side of Team Evil. Hayabusa works really well against, the squishies, especially the likes of the Kimi, right? You could just go in for the shadow kill. I think Team Flash, I don't think Fanny is also a good idea, in my opinion, because you've got the Grok that will be able to build the walls like that, and then after that just block you from actually just flying around. Now, Team Flash picks up the Yuzhong once again for Bear and also Eve for Kurt Teasy. Eve is starting to rise up in the popularity because of the her ability to catch people and also burn people down, especially when you are super, super tanky.
Team Flash currently do have a pretty good front line. And of course, Yuzhong with that zoning potential that they can generally be able to do. This is also going to be discouragement for any form of channeling, I would say. But it looks like Evil, they're going to be looking out for the Lapu Lapu pick.
Yep.
Kind of tit for a tat between that fighters.
Yep, Gear will be on the Lapu Lapu duty this time around. It's going to hack and slash. It's going to work really well, especially when you're going up against an Eve, right? Because you do have a lot of gap closer. Every time when you slash, you also move forward just a little bit. Your Bravest Warrior mode allows you to basically have some form of CC immunity and also damage reduction. So that's A-okay for the Lapu Lapu to be able to reach the Eve, especially when the real world manipulation gets activated. Now, Team Evil takes away the Fanny. That's what I was mentioning earlier just now. But there's also a potential Guinevere if Team Flash want to go for that one. Technically speaking, you've got a Yuzhong that can also do quite a decent chunk of damage through Sha Residue. All you have to do is just hold them tight right there and knock them up. Team Evil takes away the Fragile. Now they're focusing mostly on Hades' hero for now.
So, as you mentioned, it does seem like Guinevere might be that thing. Kalia is actually leaked out at this point. As much as I want to see the Kalia plus Guinevere combo, which is something that Team Flash really likes to go for, which is probably the only reason why I think that they might not go towards that direction, because they don't have a Kalia, so doesn't really quite justify getting the Guinevere here in here. We might see that in the later stages of the game, or rather in the later stages of the series, but in this case, I think that there are some other possibilities, such as a Joy being played out by Hades.
Joy is actually really wonderful for the side of Team Flash, right? Like, if you trap everybody inside the box, there's so much AoE. But speaking about AoE, Team Evil, this is a roster that works really well against Eve, and especially when Chusin's already taken away by the side of Team Flash. This is a lot more. You need to find a way to deny Harith all that real estate. Esmeralda, though, is still open, but I don't think Team Flash is looking at that particular pick.
The only denial that they have is the Eve. They have Wild Charge for Aerial Effect Crowd Control,
Ruby could be a very potential good pick from the side of Team Flash this time around, right? I'm offended, and also the stun to prevent the prevent the Harry from just bouncing around with the Zaman Force. You sustain, you pull everybody back into the real world manipulation, or into the wall as well, as Kurtisi just burns everybody alive. And this is a very scary drop if that goes on the A, but hold on, it's going to be Akai coming in for the side of Team Flash. My prediction goes a little bit wide. It's N, but there is still some form of AoE, right? The Blazing Duet into the real world manipulation, and Akai can technically shove people all the way to the edge of the wall, or stun people there. That's actually a interesting way of doing it. Now, Akai is a very good answer over the side of Harif. You push Harif out of Zaman Force, and all of a sudden you find the Harif unable to output enough damage.
Do we have an X factor when it comes down to a roamer? Is this more of an engagement style kind of thing from the side of Team Flash? They do have counter engage. Well, in the meantime, engagement mostly comes in from Grok. And if they want to layer anything, it's actually kind of difficult. So, honestly, Minotaur kind of sounds good, decent here. Oh.
Powerful going for the Hilda this time around. Hilda usually goes for, you know, the hard invade into enemy jungle, especially when you have an assassin jungler on the other side. But Team Flash went for the Akai, so Akai should be really, really safe in his own jungle, unless, you know, Team Evil goes in for the counter jungle. But do you even counter jungle against an Akai? Akai doesn't really require a lot of farm, just need to hit level 4, and he's already online with a heavy spin as well, and also start, you know, shoving everybody out. So don't forget, there's also a lot of potential synergy in terms of the hero picks coming up from the side of Team Flash, right? I already mentioned about a heavy spin into this real world manipulation edge. You also have the wall from the side of Grok as well, so yeah. There's so many ways for Flash to maneuver this around, and it can also act as a disengagement tool against Team Evil.
And such, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. The draft for game number 3 here in the Land of Dawn with Dangerous Grass. Team Evil currently with 1 win to their name, and Flash Singapore, similar to that. We are going into game number 3. 1-1. Who's going to be the one they will be able to get 2 games to their name?
Now, Abstract, even ever since Team Evil pulled that maneuver earlier just now, I'm actually paying attention more to the minimap whenever we load into the game.
No.
Don't worry, Evil is playing a standard map for now, right? Because you really don't want to counter jungle at level 1 against Akai. Akai at level 1 actually does quite a decent amount of damage, right? Because his damage is HP base, does a decent amount of wave clear, concussive blast, also pops a lot of damage as well. Now, this is Dangerous Grass on the side. Dangerous Grass in this map, right? Hilda is gonna get a lot more movement, a lot more healings done as he runs around the grasses like that.
And once again, it's kind of interesting how both teams were looking at a little bit of a babysitting service in the side lanes. And I totally understand that they needed some influence over to the side lanes. But the main thing is we need some tagging, right? The roamers gotta have to tag someone, especially for Team Flash. As a Grok, you do have CC immunity, and you're not particularly too afraid of a lot of things. And you're gonna have to tag onto and constantly give information on someone from the side of Evil.
Okay. Team Flash, on the other hand, you know, we talk about tagging. Jay should be able to tag onto Team Evil, but you're looking at a Dangerous Grass. And these grass are definitely going to be really scary to open. So it's really wise coming out from Coach Bitoy, right? Using Powerful as Hilda to really open up each grass. And when you go into grass, you gain bonus shields and also heals, allows you to survive just a little bit longer. But of course, Jay could easily play Bushwhack in this map.
But aside of that, I'm looking for early game damage, right? Between the roaming trios.
Yeah.
And I think the Flash, at least they do have a Grok.
Yeah, but if you look at Team Flash's roster, right, it's a lot more pressure for the side of Bear to really output the damage. He's going to be the main damage dealer, especially in early part.
And it doesn't seem like Gear will be able to get away from this. As the Furious Dive is going to be the one to take Gear out of his misery.
Yeah, man, like, you don't want to feed Bear food, right? You go to the zoo, you don't feed the bear anything, because once you start feeding the bear, you're going to get a very scary monster going into the later part of the game. This Yuzhong is going to snowball out of control if you continue to do this.
But regardless of all that, if you look at the game in a more macro point of view, Evil still have got some of that lane control as well as that economical advantage. Something is still working well for Evil. And I would like to assume it's mostly onto the northern part of the map.
Yeah. Harif in the early game should be able to triumph against Claude. Claude needs a lot more time as compared to Harif. Once Harif pops level 4, you could just start Eagle Challenge against Vanix, right? Vanix, on the other hand, oh, hold on a second.
Here might be able to see his second death this time as Hades focus fired onto Gear with that heavy spin. And in the meantime, Vanix finds himself at a low amount of HP. There's a good flicker right into Jay. Or rather, Aether finds himself in the top spot. There's the RWM that will be popped. Aether wasn't able to get himself away with a Phantom Execution. The only thing left is that Thorned Rose. It will pop to the hands of Curtizi.
Aether tried to cosplay Hades right there earlier just now. Get caught by the wall by Curtizi. That was a very beautiful BMI into a flicker for the side of Vanix to stay alive right there. And this is the clutch factor that we know and love for the side of Vanix, right? Even though you got 3 members ganking him all the way up top, as long as he's able to stay alive, no, you watch other gold laners in MPL Singapore, they don't really have that clutch factor except for Vanix.
Here's a different thing, right? Especially if you're talking about Claude. Claude, yes, is gonna have some difficulty farming in the gold lane, but that is actually a very difficult thing to lose in the lane and die because of BMI. You do have a lot of ways, or rather, you can actually run really far away from the first turret. So if anyone were to even proxy right behind you, you can run away, and there's no very long backswings as well. The moment you swap, and you can start running.
Black Dragon form. You can see Aether struggling to go into the Phantom Execution across the wall. But once again, Flash SG takes away the second turtle over the side of Team Evil. Team Evil, there's no answer.
There, jumps in on from behind, and Hades locks onto 2! Powerful had no choice but to flicker right out of dodge, and they are hoping that they will be able to return the favor over to Jay. But it doesn't seem like that would be the case, as now they have left Jay and Hades back home.
I never felt that the Akai was able to fly like that, right? It feels like his timing on the heavy spin and also his dashes to find these flanks are just impeccable, right? Now, Team Evil losing 4 members over the side of Team Flash already. There's no kills that they're able to achieve so far. Aether, even though he got one of the S+++ tier jungler in this particular patch, is unable to do much because Team Flash, you know, from the get-go, Baird's already picking up 2 kills, Curtizi also picking up 2 kills already, and even though Aether tried to just juke around that, he's not able to do so, and Ven just going into someone for fun.
Oh no, it doesn't seem like he will be able to get up because he don't have Purify. Vanix baited Ven into overcommitting into that fight.
Yeah, and Hades, once again, heavy spin at the right place at the right time. It feels like, you know, he's playing the Panda like he's on wheels, he's on rollerblade, he's everywhere. He's at the right place at the right time, and then after that, landing on the heavy spin. Once again, you've already fed Bear all the way down bot. But however, Team Evil Gear was able to take down bot on the main turret. Now, Team Flash is going to focus up top instead.
As now Sela flies up to the sky, but he does have to Purify to get himself right out of dodge. They focus some of these powers onto Powerful, but all the less, Flash lost nothing, while Evil, they lost a single Purify off of Sela.
Yeah, and not only just that, right? Sela trying to jump over the wall instead back to safety, whereas Powerful decides to go for the engage. A little bit of miscommunication from the side of Team Evil for now.
To be fair, they needed to break the distance.
Yeah, they do kind of need to break the distance, but I think, you know, Powerful, I feel like he's trying to push Team Flash away, but there's 3 members there. If Team Flash has a bit of a power trip or ego trip, I think they can easily take down Powerful right there on this Hilda.
As such, Gear is ready in Ultimate Warrior, the bravest one of all. Powerful doesn't have a lot of HP to work with, but there is going to be a stun from the side of Gear. CC Immunity outside of the RWM. Aether picks up the turtle. Powerful is nowhere to be seen as he will not be able to join into the fight. As such, Jay picks up the kill onto Aether, where the fight continues to snowball in favor for the side of Team Flash. As Jay now picks up a double onto Ven. The Roamer is now the one that takes kills, while Vanix slays Gear down.
Man, Vanix right there goes into the blazing duet in the real moment manipulation. Curtizi providing cover with fire for so much. You can see the amount of control, map control that Flash SG was able to secure for himself. Kudos where kudos is done, right? Aether still able to retreat that turtle earlier just now was wonderful, even though he's in the face of danger on that heavy spin. But it is still damage done against Team Evil because they're starting to lose ground. Mid lane, the top lane already cracked open.
with two of the outer turrets that have been destroyed. This is great news for Flash.
Yep.
They now have got free access and a lot easier accessibility to go into Evil's top jungle and threaten that orange buff.
Already taking down bot lane for the side of Vanix as well. Team Evil losing all their first tier turrets. The rotations are a little out of whack. They're unable to find anything as well. No, heck, they can't even find any kills against Team Flash as well. Playing a perfect game so far.
Aether now finding himself right in the face of Jay and Hades. But the purple buff, it did not go into the hands of Aether. It's been stolen by the hands of Hades as he now cheekily walks away with that thick body of his.
And yeah, his Thorn Rose doesn't really do any much damage against Hades as well, because Hades is an archive jungle tank. Now, all of a sudden, Team Evil is starting to lose a lot of resources around the map. You can see items being built by the side of Sailor, the Glowing One, and also the Sky Piercer already built. But it feels like Team Evil is lacking that finishing blow, that initial burst. The initial burst actually relies on Ben, but Ben finally secured the Feather Heavens right here, but he's already 3 deaths already, so he's not really online. You're looking at Powerful. Hopefully, he's able to output certain amount of damage, because on the Hilda, you do a lot of damage. But they're unable to find any form of stun, any form of push, because the Flash actually is so far ahead.
Yeah, so this is my problem, right? When you're drafting a Hilda, but you're unable to input any form of pressure over to the opposite side in the early stages. The early stages for Hilda, that is literally your power spike, even though you don't have any items. Just at the just as you hit level 4, that's where you can instantaneously kill someone that have at least half HP.
Their petrified traits for Van's Purify right now means that Jake could land a tectonic charge perfectly, and Van couldn't do anything much if he plays his cards wrong.
Gear now is going to be opening some space out. Jay's HP doesn't seem to be very healthy, but the Black Dragon form soars above the sky. Jay tried to look for an opportunity, but it does seem like he used his flicker, did not land a good wild charge, or rather tectonic charge. Hades opens up when it comes down to heavy speed, and the rest of the map is coming from the side of Evil, just going to be flowing themselves right onto Flame Flash. They do have got a Zaman Force used down, and they will be zoning away from all of that, allowing Gear to pick up 2 kills, and they have now the priority over the Lord.
Finally, 10 minutes in, ladies and gents, Team Evil picked the first 3 kills. 2 Creditor over the side of Gear, 1 over the side of Powerful, and they take the Lord as well. And now Team Evil will have a bit of momentum going into their favor for now.
With the middle lane, D1 finally being destroyed by the hands of Evil. They're now trying to balance out the playing field in order to really just go in and go out of the jungles as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
They want to kind of go for an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, purple buff for a purple buff.
Yeah, there's so much standing go for the side of Team Evil, right? This Lord is definitely going to swing the gold lead back into the favors of Team Evil. Gear was angry once again. He was going in and smash, and now as Team Flash was trying to just retreat from the oldies choke points, Gear just soaking up, just dishing out all this damage, just life absorbing all the way back. They don't really need vent because, you know, Team Evil somehow found a very good opening because Jay committed to that tectonic charge flicker, misses quite a few people, and Flash SG ultimately got punished for that.
I really do want to find out if whether Team Flash really do have got the damage as well as the resilience to be able to last throughout the entire team fight and still be able to bring down passive damage over the side of Evil.
Yep.
Because you're going up against Ven, you're going up against Aether, Sailor. In fact, there's so many things that is available into the mix of Evil that can deal in number to the members of Team Flash.
Yep, all of a sudden Team Evil was the one that has the 2k goal lead in the favor, right? Here with that two kills already starting to come online, the Fury Hammer and the War Axe coming in very clutch right there, the Oracle as well. And now you also got Sailor, you know, with the Sky Piercer stacks, unfortunately not being able to build up, but does have the Divine Glaive already. So Flash SG is going to be mincemeat if they stay in the Kimmy damage over and over again. But also another person from the side from Team Evil is that Powerful securing the plate armor just right there. Phoenix was trying to output some damage over to Powerful, but as long as Powerful fights inside these bushes, especially when we're in dangerous grass, Phoenix might as well just be watering the sea by then.
Right now, Kimmy, being the alternative win con, also do have the Sky Piercer for himself. It is a situation where it goes either to Sailor or it goes over to Van as the win condition. How are they going to be finishing off Team Flash? As long as Sailor is able to pop off really early, or rather starts to pick up kills after kills, that's the win condition that will be tilted over to the side of Sailor, and that is crazy amount of damage to really make full use of the bruises of this team.
Yeah.
But for Team Flash, they have to gun at the fact that the Blazing Duet works well in a full team fight setting.
That's right.
Or, very late stages into the game, a Claude can deal optimal damage just by standing still.
Yeah, and that's why Vanix actually went for the Winter Crown as well. They need some form of survivability, but hold on so I can continue play. Jay looking for a target, Phantom Execution. Aether doesn't want to be the main target right there, has to bugger out of there.
The Lord spawns at the northwest side of the map, with Evil not having too much control down on the bottom side, but it's okay. Because the main thing is they're looking for neutral objective. Information is not quite given just yet, but Powerful is literally right in the face of Hades with the traction power that would now land. The Black Dragon form appears. Hades doesn't have a lot of HP to work with as he dances away, hoping that he will stay alive. Aether now takes up the Lord. Aether will want to run away with a sliver of health. And Aether, he will do what he can to keep himself alive and to fight back at Flash SG.
Bear oversending a little bit right there, hopefully trying to make a play out there. Team Evil, on the other hand, they punish back, they bite back. They do have a goal lead in their favor. Team Evil acknowledged and found that Vanix on the other side of the map because he's trying to slow push down bot and try hopefully use that time to join the fight around the Lord Pit. Flash SG botched that timing right there, and now they have to defend against this Lord.
With the Lord that will be marching in from the middle lane, preparing the pillage, whatever that Flash SG holds dear, especially in their own homes. That 3 inhibitor turret will be standing in the way of the Lord's push into the core and the crystal. What will possibly stop them? Well, that is going to be the entire lineup from Team Flash as they literally collapses themselves right onto the Lord, dealt with them with no questions asked.
Chip damage already done for the side of Team Evil. Mid lane looks really shaky as well. You can see, Flash SG literally pouring every single body, every single department to basically defend those minions as well. Team Evil unable to sync it up because Flash SG, technically speaking, fixed the wave down bot as well, and then after that move on. Team Evil, on the other hand, needs to look something else, but they do have 4K gold lead in their pocket. Van should have the necessary items required, but Vanix has a magnific gun already. He is online. I'm sorry, I take that back.
But I would say that Powerful is pretty... Oh, what?
Yeah, magnific gun does that to you. Just letting you know.
Painful.
Yep.
Yeah, just auto attacks at this point. Vanix can do quite a number. And this actually is information for Powerful. Just by standing there and receiving some damage from Vanix. It is not like... this is not BM of any source. This is literally Powerful to just be like, okay, this is the amount of time it takes for him to deal this amount of damage to me. So... when it comes down to dealing with the others, especially for Lapu Lapu, they can have a very generic idea how long can Gear stay in a team fight.
If you notice, this is a very low kill scope from the side of Team Evil, right? Powerful actually zones the whole team for the side of Team Flash. The shoulders that Powerful has is definitely going to be super wide right there because there's a lot of responsibility for him. He is the one that zoned out the rest of Team Flash and allowing Team Evil to basically sneak all of these objectives away. Team Flash, because of Powerful, they need to deal with Powerful. Now Vanix has already built that item that I was talking about, the magnific gun right here. Should be able to chip away onto Powerful. If you notice, Powerful did not build up.
Ow! Wait, hold on a second! Katizi was so close to death, but in the end of the day, he was still going after the hands of Powerful. And now the fight erupts with Evil literally in the face of Hades. He's not going to go down anytime soon just yet, but now Gear is just going to be diving himself right into the face of Bear. Takes him down. Jay doesn't have a lot to work with. He builds up the barrier, erecting Red off the ground, forcing Evil to stop that fight.
Yeah, Jay built up, but hold on a second. That's a bit awkward for him to come down.
Blazing Duet with Vanix. The takes Vanix down. It's 2 for 2 at this point in time.
Yeah, now you see me, now you don't. Vanix made a play of his life right there. It would have been impending doom if Team Flash wasn't able to make a play right there. But that Blazing Duet save and hold down the fort for the side of Flash SG. Team Evil, they took some losses right there.
Back to the neutral game. The Lord is currently still available. Sailor takes NBT of the Lord. Hades, Phoenix, as well as Jay. They're posturing themselves up for this upcoming Lord. They don't have information on Powerful Justice. It's now Powerful Justice gonna be diving himself all the way to the back while placing 2 and coming from Phoenix who will deal damage enough to the Lord. And now the fight will break out into the open. Ethan takes a kill down on the Khaleesi. The rest of Evil, they are now just gonna be puncturing their way through. Almost catching up onto Phoenix as he will be able to BMI himself out of the way. The puncture and also the Phantom execution.
Man, Evil botched that Lord fight earlier just now. Flash SG, you sending Phoenix with the blazing duet over there to basically wave clear and also stake away the Lord right here. But Team Evil, they're not done yet. They should be able to blitz this right now. They did not push.
The Phantom execution is going to be putting himself so close to Phoenix. As such, Evil will tally out the score line by claiming the second game of the series.
A back and forth, a seesaw once again.